Let's talk about XIA's rework. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. For all you new folks out there, my name is Zeals. So without a doubt, we have a lot of things to cover today. So we're going to do it step by step, piece at a time, or your brain will literally just poof, explode, guys. So I've been testing this and then I've been testing that. Grab some snacks. This is gonna be a long one. Heads up, warning already. So let's start with the compensation that we got. We have lost the Marauder system like we talked about in yesterday's news video for Idle Heroes. So right now I am on Dazann's account and gokotai as well as other folks have pitched in their XIA. So we'll talk about XIA shortly. So we got this lost underground. It's pretty much you have folks, strong folks in your friends list, and all you gotta do is do the quick explore. You just gotta do it twice, do stage 5 if you can beat it, and you get 100 gems, so maximum 200 gems per day, as well as the rewards that you can get from the chest as well. I mean, it's not really complicated. You just do it. It's passive gem generation. Overall, in terms of every player, I think this is pretty fair. Everybody is going to generate gems at like an almost equal rate unless we figure out some kind of an exploit. I don't think there is. Anyways, so next on up is the enable skill changes. First of all, we have a change to Unbending Will. So basically, you are not immune for an entire round. For example, let's say someone hits you really hard and you proc the cheat death, aka Unbending Will. So at the start of the round, it procced. It makes you immune for the entirety of that round. Of course, marks bypass it from Ada and Asmodel and things like that. But it's changed now where in PvP, you can see the Unbending Will not even proc. The triple mim, the double mim cheeses, they are back to stay now because of this change. Because if you have multiple stacks of a dot, let's say poison or a bleed, let's say, for example, I was testing out the triple Oberon, of course. I have to dedicate an entire video on that. A lot of people asking me about how's the triple Oberon, and we'll be discussing that soon. But what I noticed is that because of this change, and if Oberon's plays, of course, the siege and they twine, and you see like 12 stacks of the poison dot debuff, and that pretty much counts as more than 4 times the damage, and you see the Unbending Will not even procced. It's like a hot knife slicing right through butter. So I see dots having very good value now because of the Unbending Will change, and of course because of the Purify change. Why is that? Because if you have more, like for example, let's say you're running multiple Oberons or Nakia, which I'll showcase of course tomorrow, then Purify cannot remove all those debuffs. It's gonna remove one debuff. It can be a dot. Purify works great if your opponent doesn't give you a lot of debuffs. And if they do give a lot of debuffs, like for example, the triple Oberon, Ada, and Nakia team or something like that, and an Amon-Ra in there, we're talking about a lot of debuffs. We have the Ada's Mark, that's a debuff. Even if it doesn't show as a debuff, it is a debuff. Asmodel's Crit Mark is a debuff. Well, it's not in that team, of course. But Oberon's Seed is a debuff. The CC is a debuff. The Poison Dot is a debuff. And of course, the speed reduction from Nakia, the bleed from Nakia, those are all debuffs, and Purify removes one at random. It can be like an entire stack, like I said. The healing reduction from Ada, it can remove all of that off and things like that. That's great. It can remove all the Asmodel's crit marks. But when you're facing a team that has huge number of debuffs, then Purify kind of loses value. But then you're choosing between Resilience when you are in the end game. Resilience doesn't really have a lot of value because of the multiple Adas everywhere with the healing reduction. So you're not going to see a lot of value in Resilience anyways. But when you're fighting, let's say, just GVE, standard GVE endgame teams, then yes, Purify will have greater value because there's not a lot of debuffs compared to like Nakia, Oberon, and Amon-Ra and Ada team, right? All in one. So if you're fighting against like Ada or Asmodel GVE team, then the only debuffs, well, there's more, of course. But the majority of the debuffs are coming from Asmodel's Crit Mark, Ada's Mark, as well as Ada's healing reduction, and of course Amon-Ra's healing curse. So that's 4, so you're gonna remove 1. So most endgame players are opting into the Purify, but it's not like a huge game changer. It's just RNG dependent, and it can favor in your way. But back with the Unbending Will, basically it is a nerf in PvP. So now that PvE, I'm talking about just against bosses. Now that we lost Marauders, what we're left with is Pray for Fire bosses and the Broken Space bosses. So in PvE against these bosses, because they can't really hit you that many times, then you can see Unbending Will tick into like the next round. That's a one positive. Even in PvP, if you can keep the Unbending Will going with like Amen Ra, then yeah, you can see it go into the next round and things like that. But if they have any damage over time or passive damage, then it's gonna eat those Unbending Will 4 charges. So it says immunes damage at most 4 times. That doesn't include passive. It doesn't include damage over time. Damage over time and those passive damage can eat up a stack is basically what I'm trying to say. So you can still build Dark Arthen though, for example, for massive damage. But if she's sitting in slot 1, for example, and just getting pounded with basic attacks, it's gonna eat up those 4 charges and she will pretty much die before she can retaliate with all her attack and skill damage and all that energy buff, right? So she won't be able to just and wipe out your opponent's team if you're running Unbending Will today. Can it still happen? Yeah, it can still happen. But like I always recommend, Speed, Stone, DA just for CC is a little bit more reliable. So guys, we have an E5 Xia today. So let's talk about Xia. Alright, so people have been messaging me about Reddit. There's some memes about me and people are just waiting for me to talk about Xia. And some people are saying, use your own brains and make your own Xia and do it. But hey, let's thank these players that have offered their accounts so readily. And I know it's not perfect Xias, and I do have access to some perfect Xias. I'll showcase that too today. But what I'm trying to say is, thanks to these folks, they're not even Megs or whales. Thanks to them, we are able to check it out. And by checking it out, we are able to see her full potential, or what her pros and cons are. So guys, I'm not gonna really read all her skills and things like that. That's not what this is gonna be about. It's mostly gonna be what's her best stone and gearing and things like that, the math, and you can check it out all for yourself. I'm sure you guys have read this, but I will explain it very quickly. So let's go from the active. No, actually, we gotta always go backwards. I don't know why, but that makes sense. So each basic attack, her basic attack pretty much fuels her power, her aggression. So when she does a basic attack, she gets 2 layers of this thing called aggression. You can check it out in the game. You can't see how many you have, but you know when you have aggression. She starts turning red, like the video. When an enemy is killed by Xia, she basically restores 100% of her HP. Max HP means 0 to full, right? Or wait, 0 means she's dead. So basically, aggression and active and her block pretty much has a synergy. So when she does basic attack, she's guaranteed 2 layers of aggression. When she blocks, she's guaranteed 1 layer of aggression. Right here it says a layer, so you get 1 layer. And basically this is triggered when she does her active attack, and the damage is right there, 238% of attack. Now of course, Heart Watcher and Cruise debuffs like the Mark and the Weaken debuff, this affects the damage. And the faction advantage damage, wait a minute, that's really hard to say. So for example, if you're fighting against Scary, you're gonna do extra damage with the aggression as well, but it does not crit. It does not crit. It does not get affected or boosted by crit damage as well. And armor, of course, affects it. Damage reduce and stuff like that, of course, affects it. And speaking of Anne, bleeds target for an extra 176. Basically, it gives a bleed debuff, which kind of helps counter Purify. Yeah. So basically, one of the most important things to take home here is that it lasts for 4 rounds. The aggression stacks last for 4 rounds, and I'll talk about this in PvE. If in PvP, it doesn't really matter because fights are gonna not last that long anyways. And her active attack is not hard to understand, right? Basically, she just does buttload of damage with her active attack and triggers the aggression stacks. And you cannot see the stacks, but she glows. Alright, so before we get into combat, let's answer everybody's question. What is the best stone? And talk about artifacts and monsters right after that. So we have tested, of course, thanks to all the math wizards, we have all the data to pretty much Excel sheet the crap out of the combat formula, the multipliers, the additives, and things like that. So as you are seeing, we have no auras. In terms of the stone, the best stone, we're just only talking about stone here, the most offensive stone, without talking about her blocks and things like that. Her most offensive stone is going to be armor break and attack stone. Now, hear me out. Armor break and then holy damage at number 2 and attack in number 3. Now, why? When people see heroes like Nakia or XIA, they're screaming, oh my god, I need to get an attack stone. But that is not the case because of the new monster updates. And check it out here. Let's go back up in here and we have the monster. Here we go. Let's open up the Phoenix and bam, the last tab, we have the fixed attack. So if you have an attack stone, the attack stone, actually, does he have any hero with an attack stone here? I think I changed it all up. So let's check it out. So we have the percent attack, right? The percent attack multiplier. It's not going to multiply the plus attack right here. So that percent attack multiplier in the stone is not being used to its fullest because this is not being affected by that. Of course, this is being affected, but this is not. However, the armor break as well as holy damage is seeing benefits with this plus attack, right? That's one of the reasons why armor break as well as holy damage is so good for these heroes, especially heroes like Nakia and XIA. If you have an armor reducer like Sigmund, then of course attack stone is going to win. So basically you just flip it around. It's going to be attack stone, holy damage stone, and armor break stone. But if you don't have that in PvE, then the best stone is going to be armor break stone because bosses, the highest bosses in broken space have around 2,000 armor, and 2,000 armor with our calculation that we have accumulated for over almost 3 years now, it's going to be about 23 or 25% damage reduction. Do you want to have a little bit more attack, or do you want to get as close to completely removing that 23% damage reduce from the opponent's armor, the boss's armor? Of course, the best bang for your buck is going to be the armor break, unless once again you have an armor reducer like Sigmund. So that ends it right there. Boom. This is why you check out my video. Now against PvE bosses, of course, Broken Space and Pray for Fire, those bosses have 35% precision. So if you want to have 100% block on your XIA, then you need to rock the Augustus Magic Ball artifact with, of course, like I said, you could use the attack stone, holy damage stone, or the armor break stone. It's not going to affect her block rate. So with the Augustus Magic Ball, like you are seeing, you're going to have 135% chance to block, and minus 35 is going to be 100%. Now there's other tanky alternatives like the HP Block Stone with the Magic Stone Sword and the Deer Monster. Deer Monster provides passive block, and of course Block Stone gives block with HP. You're going to have a lot of EHP and that CC reduction as well. And CC reduction plays a big role in basically doing her active, and of course block also as well, because every time you're blocking you're getting more aggression, and if she's not CC'd, she's able to unleash her active attack, and basically she's able to spend that aggression doing a lot of damage. But does it outweigh using offensive stone with Augustus Magic Ball? That will depend on your team and your opponents, but these are some of the choices that you have in PvP. Now in PvE, anti-class, so against warriors you want to use, of course, the anti-warrior artifact, and second runner-up is an Augustus Magic Ball. Antler's Cane also can do well as well. Now what about the CC immunity? If I am rocking the Magic Stone Sword, you're going to have 73% CC immunity because of the guild tech. That is a separate multiplier, not an additive. So let me wrap this up nicely. In PvP, you can go with the block stone, you can go with the holy damage stone. Pretty much holy damage stone is like a universal PvP stone. So you have the holy damage stone universally, or you could use the HP block stone. You can use a Magic Stone Sword or the Augustus Magic Ball. You can use a Deer Monster or the Phoenix. You need to try it out against your opponents. If you're getting CC'd a lot because your opponents have a lot of CC, then you might need to rock that Magic Stone Sword to basically get her active attack. If you're not blocking enough because maybe you don't have a block stone or a block artifact, then you need to incorporate one and try it out and see where it goes. You may have to use that deer monster if you don't have an Augustus magic ball and you have only the block stone, and if that's not enough, then you may need that deer monster, or you could get away with the phoenix monster. So you have to try it out. So we're going to go with these enabled talents on her. We're going to go with the Purify. Basically, I don't want her to sit in a stun during a video. And she does not have the Assassin set. That's okay. And she is rocking the Armor Break because we're going to be doing some PvE. He does not have a Magic Stone Sword. He does not have an Augustus Magic Bow. He only has Invisible. It's okay. It's not the best team with the best gear in the world. And the opponents, it's not like the hardest opponent either. That's not the point. We're just going to check out how XIA works today. I know like how well she's working it. Okay, so there's a basic attack, and basically she's glowing red. Means she's getting angry. She's got that aggression right now, and you can't see how many stacks of aggression she has, but you'll see when she does her active attack. Here we go. Hopefully, bah, and here we go. Duh, 2, 3, 4. All right, so 4 times. She blocked twice, I guess. She blocked twice. Her basic attack gives 2 layers of aggression. And like I said, it does extra damage against the weaker opponents. Or not the weaker opponent, the weaker faction, the Abyss heroes. She's going to do extra damage against them. And basically, she's going to target the weakest heroes in the opponent's lineup. That's great. And when she does kill, she heals. So here's the thing, guys. So against hard opponents, she suffers from like the same things, which is basically she either gets CC locked or she just gets punched in the face and dies, and Unbending Will is just not enough. So what I'm saying is you have to build a team around her, and that's not easy to do. You need to get like an Amen Ra, maybe even 2. So that is no easy feat, yeah? But she's still pretty cool. I think she's pretty cool still in PvP right now. And let's fight him once again. Let's check out Deer Monster. Yeah. Is it even maxed out? I don't even think it's maxed out. I don't think so. We'll see. Okay. So the Deer Monster is not maxed out. So I'm not going to get that Deer Monster just for that block percentage. So we'll just go one more time. Just go one more time here. Yeah, easy opponent. Just to showcase. I just want to see her do basic and active attack. And we're going to jump right into the PvE. So basic attack, boom, there's aggression, 2 layers. You can't see the 2 layers, but you just have to trust the game. And hopefully Purify removes that right there, not the attack reduce. And okay. She's just gonna, okay, there's an active. Bah! But she's dead, and aggression pieces, like her copies, didn't come out. Alright, so let's skip that. Let's check out another one. Boom. Yeah, so her active still did a decent chunk of damage here. And let's do one more, and hopefully we can get some crazy action here. Because I remember one time, it was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy, like 9 aggressions just going off. It was pretty cool. It solo like 3 heroes. That was pretty cool. Here we go. Boom, Faith Bleed's down. Aspen, so close. And it did not happen here. But it was so cool, right? It took out Faith Blade, and she doesn't have the Assassin's gear. She does not have like crazy cool artifact and things like that. So it's holding her back. Against like endgame teams, I don't think she really has that big of a chance. Yeah, she can win here and there, but you really need to build a nice team around her. Of course, if things change and things like that, if there's like a crazy XIA comp that comes out of the blue, you know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna feature it like ASAP. I'm gonna just run home and feature that. So let's do some PvE now. We have the not the broken space, man. What are you talking about? We have the Pray for Fire. So let's check it out. So we have Echo of Death. Does he actually have anything else that I can use? I think he had 1 Antler's Cane and Faith Blade. They are assassins. Does he have an anti-assassin gear? Yes, he does. Woo! Alright, so we'll use that on Horus. Let's check out his enabled skills. We'll change it up. And it's Android, so I can't really thumb it and change it quickly. And let's see if she can survive whatsoever. Valkyrie, I think it's gonna just, yeah, pretty standard. She's gonna come for the attack reduce. And like I said, not the best account in the world. That's fine. That's fine. Most of us, we don't rock all the artifacts in the world anyway. So let's go with this. Bell Rain and Hot Watcha. And we're gonna go, okay, so we gotta go with the Phoenix Pet. Okay, we have Valkyrie for the burn. Alright, so let's go with this. 3, 2, yeah, it's fine. Let's go. Bam. Let's check it out. Times 2 it. Boom. Hopefully the actives don't kill anybody. Oh, okay, everyone's alive. Pop, pop, pop. And let's check it out. Heart Watcher, do your magic, baby. Ooh, Belrain, heal these people up, please. Alright. We have the healing buff, but hopefully, yeah, okay. Xia with her crits, she's gonna heal back up with the balance strike. That's crazy. That's awesome. Yeah. So Faith Blade, wow, man, pretty easy, not gonna lie. So as long as you can survive, he's not gonna get the holy damage buff, and that's awesome. So we're gonna last the whole 15 rounds, team, and looks like the bottom Faith Blade is the boy with the least amount of HP. So Xia is pretty much harassing the Faith Blade. And I talked to you guys about her limits in PvE, and that is the aggression stacks lasting 4 rounds. Now, if it had no cap in terms of rounds, then you can see her aggression just stack up and up and up and up, right? Like it will be like 9 to 12 to 15. I'm just going by threes here, but 18, 21. It can just go up forever, but until 15 rounds. But because it only lasts 4 rounds, what? 1.5 billion damage. Okay, that's not bad. And Horus, I could not get the crit stone for the life of me. So Xia, not bad at all against these guys. And remember, they have 50% damage reduce and they have 35% precision. Xia does not have the Augustus magic ball. Not only that, she's not getting hit every time by the Faith Blades. We're gonna do one more attack. Hopefully we get some good RNG in us. Alright, so as you are seeing, Heart Watcher mark debuff affecting her. Oh, live! Belrain, please prioritize. Oh my goodness, that Belrain's RNG heal, so frustrating at times. We're just gonna skip because we're here for Xia, and not bad, right? I guess the team survived still. Horus just kicking it up, and Xia was doing fine until her early death. Woo! Valkyrie doing well against 3 targets. That's not a surprise. And one more, and then I'm gonna change your artifact. All right, let's go. So one thing to know, last fight Xia was doing a lot of damage even with her early death. That was because she was the one with the lowest amount of HP. So Faith Blades were doing their basic attacks against Xia, basically giving her more chance to block, meaning more aggression stacks. That's pretty much why she was doing so much damage. So if I had a way to pretty much lower her HP more than anybody else, then you will see her do a lot of damage in PvE. That's one kind of a cheese, I suppose. Alright, so we have Bell Rain down, so here's a scary damage, but her death passive healing is going to help out, I guess. Here we go. So Xia is the lowest right now, so hopefully she gains a lot of blocks, even with their low block percentage. Please don't die, baby. Okay, so Xia died there. And here we go, 1.5 billion team damage. And Xia almost 300 million. I don't know, I can't really relate because we don't have the old broken space bosses up. Yeah, and these are not Abyss heroes. And of course, they also have that 50% damage reduce as well. Alright, last up, we're going to change some things around here. Last attempt. And of course, we're going to come back later on and check it out as well. So we'll move this in here, Antler's King, and we're gonna use, of course, the Fiend's Touch, the anti-assassin on there. This is not gonna prove anything because it's all about how many times she's being hit and how many times she's being well, not being, but how many times she blocks.
But I'm show it out. Hey, she playing cool now, but these my rules now. Don't play it out. So shimmy out, shimmy yeah. We could unwind if you just let me. Shimmy out, shimmy yeah. Bump it and grind, let's go the way. Shimmy out, shimmy yeah. Drinks in the air now, let this moment. Shimmy out, shimmy yeah. Tropical vibes are taking over.
Alright, so this is pretty much a poop attempt because Xia is not taking any basic attacks. Okay, she finally got her health knocked, but I don't know. I don't know about that. We'll see. Can she get some basic attacks? She needs to take some hits from Faith Plates. Okay, there we go. Alright, so basically, if your team is like full E5 and Xia has like the lowest amount of max HP, then in PvE I can see her do maybe not double what she's gonna do now, but maybe like 500 to 600 million, maybe, right? Yeah, so she really needs to take all the basic attacks and she needs to block. This was a poop attempt because basically she did not take a lot of active attacks like so in the earlier rounds. Yeah, alright, so that's pretty much how the cookie crumbles. Yeah, that's our first look at Xia. So here is the clip of the double and the single Xia against my friend as well. Alright guys, so what did you guys think about Xia? Overall, I think she was... some things are just missing, guys. On paper, she sounds great, but she pretty much is a niche hero, and in PvE as well. Like I said, in PvE, she needs to take as many hits as possible so that she is able to block and get aggression stacks in PvP. Same deal applies, but she also needs to survive, not get CC'd, and have a lot of help from her teammates as well. You know, hint hint, Amiraz. So I think she is going to be kind of hard to build into in a PvP team. In PvE, she's not bad whatsoever, but she lost that attack reduce, which is quite sad because that's utility, you know. But we'll have to see, guys. We have to see how she pans out. It's literally not even, what, 12 hours in the patch. So that's my first impressions. Of course, if things change, you know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna make a video about it. I'm gonna follow this up again, of course, later on as well. See how it goes in different accounts. Like I said, I've tried it on 3 accounts today, but this is pretty much my first impression. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you found it helpful, make sure you smash that thumbs up and subscribe as well. And hit that bell notification so you can come back next time and join me here as well. Thank you so much once again. Your boy Zeals, I'm out. Peace!